trailblazer, visionary, change maker. From shaping young minds to shattering glass ceilings by becoming the first woman executive director in the history of Siki. She is a force of transformation.
Thank you, Richa. I think probably the superlatives are a little too overwhelming for me. I see myself as a very, very ordinary woman.
But I'm not done yet. I have a lot more to come because you really are very inspiring to us, and
Thank
it's
you.
a privilege to sit with you. And I was going to say that a strategic mentor and a champion for countless professionals and entrepreneurs. She seamlessly bridges business, leadership, and philanthropy.
Thank you.
And beyond the boardrooms, when she's not achieving great heights, she's championing for community empowerment. But what fuels her and her relentless passion for impact? Let's find out today and get inspired by Miss Jamuna Rani Govindaraju.
Thank you,
I
Richa.
present to you this leader who leads with compassion and purpose. Welcome, ma'am, to Realizing.
Thank you, Richa. Like what I said, the introduction was a little overwhelming. I always see myself as a very, very simple person trying to do my work with utmost passion. Like what I shared with you, I started my journey as a teacher. And when I was teaching, I was a little stifled by the education system, where you need to meet timelines and you need to complete assignments and all that. And I thought that was not what I wanted to do. So after that, I left and I worked with physically challenged children for 6 years in an organization called AWA, Asian Women's Welfare Association, Teach Me Services. That 6 years gave me insight into philanthropy, and working with that children gave me a lot of satisfaction. After 6 years, as you know, everybody gets a little bored. Then I went to Jakarta to manage 2 schools for 2 years, and then again it was a little different because I was teaching, but it was a very, very small group of students. We were running international schools in Kebun Juruk and Kelapa Gading, 2 very premier districts, like what you call District 10 in Singapore. Very, very fulfilling years. Mom was with me. I really enjoyed my stint, but Mom didn't like being in Jakarta. So I came back to Singapore, and I was working in MDIS, Management Development Institute of Singapore. I was managing the student services. I had about 38 staff with me, managing 12,500 students from 69 countries. Very, very privileged to be mentored by Dr. R. Devendran, who's also known as Dr. Dinan. Anyone who works with him, people can vouch that that person will have very, very high tolerance for stress, for managing timelines. He's a very, very tough taskmaster. I used to work with him continuously 24/7 for 3 years, and probably that's why I can now manage Singapore Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, because at one point of time he was also the chairman here. Then I went to do work in SIM, where I was managing the program side, no longer student services, the program management of RMIT, Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. I was managing a few programs there. Then when my mom passed on, I took a break and I went to Melbourne University to do my master's in educational management, because I thought that's what I want to do, manage educational institutions. I found my passion for admin work when I was managing the 2 schools in Jakarta, I realized that it wasn't teaching that I was interested in, but more admin work. And eventually, when I finished my master's and I came back to Singapore, I was recruited as an executive director managing IC2 Prep House, a charity for visually impaired children in mainstream schools. There, I had a lady who was the founder, Dr. Audrey Lui. She taught me what passion was, how to be passionate about doing your work. So Dr. Dinan taught me to be a tough taskmaster. Audrey taught me to be a passionate person. So coupled with that, I joined the chamber, and very thankful to Mr. Neil Parekh for appointing me. Everybody looks at the first female leader, but I always say look at the person who appointed you. All credit to him for taking that bold step of appointing me, because he didn't know what was in store for him. Neither did I know. And 2.5 years on, very happy that he is still the support and the pillar. And together with him is Mr. Manish Tripathi, who's the chairman of the SME Center at SIKI, chairman of internationalization. Both of them have shaped my career in SIKI. Very thankful to the two of them, and that is where I am today, serving the business professionals and the business community in Singapore.
And the way you're doing it is so seamless. It's so wonderful. You know, you bringing all the aspects of business together.
Thank you.
And what I learned from you is this, that whoever you've worked with, you've learned something. So even if somebody's a hard taskmaster, you've learned how to handle stress from him. So is that the learning that you want to give to everyone? That
Yes, I think Dr. Dinan taught me how to respond fast, which sometimes tend to be a setback, because when you tend to work fast, you tend to overlook things. So that has been what you call disadvantage. But I am at a stage now where I look at the big picture. Responses to emails will come within 24 hours. If I don't, I've told my team that they have to tell me, prompt me, even WhatsApp messages. And like what I said, is that training with him to attend to issues, and coupled with the passion for the job, makes me go beyond my call of duty.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Mm.
So, Bab, you've attended MIT, you've attended Harvard, you've been to the top Ivy League universities. So, what do you think you've learned from there? And is it still serving you in some sense?
Okay, what had happened is every time when I decide to make a career switch, I try and upskill myself. So I finished my master's in Melbourne University for educational management. So that helped me to manage a charity. That course, you call it the MBA of education. I studied with a lot of school principals from MOE, head of departments, who have, after the course, been posted as superintendents and vice principals and all that. So, of course, that was a very, very good learning experience. After which, when I wanted to leave IC2 Prep House, I decided to do a postgraduate diploma in leadership. And that is when I was looking for courses, and I had these modules offered by MIT, Dartmouth, and the other program that I did was with Harvard on non-profit management. Well, all these courses gives you the content and the skills that you need to, at the end of the day, when you are practicing, you have to put it into use. The MIT Dartmouth and course was very, very useful because they give you bite size. They know that all the professionals there don't have the time, so they give you 3 minutes, 5 minutes bite size of what is required, then they throw an assignment at you and then for you to complete. And I think that learning model is something that's very, very close to my heart. Trying to say something within a short period of time because that's all you have.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, we taught that unless we are able to put a complex thought in the simplest sentence, our learning is not complete.
Yes.
So, yeah,
So
understand.
yeah. So that's the giveaways that I've learned from the courses.
Right, right, ma'am. So, you working in a very male dominated space. Um, what do you think are the challenges that you faced or facing, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, predominantly Indian chamber has been a very, very male dominated industry because business leaders tend to be males. We do have very few female board directors. And as Mr. Neil Parekh himself is not a business owner but a corporate leader, he saw that the best person to do the job rather than be it a male or female. So when he took office in 15 June 2022, he was pretty much the executive director. He put a team to look for the best person to fit the role. And he had a little hesitation to hire me, being the first female leader. He was more concerned about me and my progress and what happens if I fail. And I think that mindset of his is what won me over, and I believe that I could work with him. And till today, I do have a very, very good working relationship with him. He listens to my feedback. At the end of the day, as a chairman, whatever decision he takes, whether it is aligned to my feedback or not, I respect and I will execute. As the executive director, my job is to execute all his directions. But the fact that he gives me that listening ear is very, very comforting. Not many men are willing to do that, and I think particularly in the Indian community. Having said that, they do see that a lot of females are stepping up, and I would like to say thanks to Mr. Neil Parekh for appointing the first female treasurer in Sikhi after 100 years.
Right.
So I think when I was being interviewed by the papers and all that, I said that yes, they always look at that female that's being appointed, saying, "Oh, she is the one." But I think you should look at the person who has that broad mindset to appoint a female, give her a chance, guide her, and groom her. So all credit to Mr. Neil Parekh.
Wonderful, wonderful. Great. So, ma'am, what's your advice for women who want to get into leadership positions and probably in the business space? What would you advise them?
Okay, nothing comes easy. It is hard work, uh, fueled by passion, and go with your heart. Decisions may be right or wrong, but always stand firm on principles. Honesty, be guided by the right principles, corporate governance. Hold all this very dear to your heart. Any organization, you will succeed.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that. And you also do a lot of work in the philanthropy space. So tell us more about it. Why is it important? And young professionals and entrepreneurs, how can we contribute to it while progressing our own careers?
Okay, philanthropy has been part of my life since I've worked in AWA Teach Me Services and IC2 Prep House. I think it is a very, very important part of any human being to give it back to the society, whether you're working, whether it's a cash donation or a time. This will sort of broaden your perspective that there are many vulnerable groups out there and these people needs your assistance, and when you look at them, there's a lot of things that you can learn and eventually be a better human being.
Right.
So in Sikhi, We also have a philanthropic arm, and Mr. Neil Parekh has been supporting my philanthropic initiatives. We raised 750,000 with the last board, where Mr. M.S. Maniam was the chairman of that entity, taking care of the philanthropic arm. And 2024, when we was celebrating our 100th year, Siki raised close to 100,000 for Garden City Fund, because we were talking about 100 years, right? So we decided to plant more than 353 trees in Jurong Lake Gardens to continue the next 100 years.
Yeah.
So these were initiatives supported by the board. So I'm very thankful to them. And also education has also been very close to my heart. So I work in this capacity as the executive director with a lot of educational institutions. We do hire interns from SP Jain. We work with James Cook University, Newcastle University, and a few others. So I will keep the relationship going, and so it is basically like what I said, is a matter of being passionate about the causes.
Right, right. So if you're interested in doing something, there will become a way that
Yes.
you're able to do it. Lovely, lovely. So, ma'am, if you have to define your leadership style, how would you do that?
I would say I would be also a little tough taskmaster, thanks to the mentor who taught me. I don't believe in free lunches. You have to work for your money, and I have told my team that hard work, nothing else. It's sheer hard work. Whatever that you do, when you do it with utmost commitment, people can see, even if it's a simple gesture of serving tea.
True, true, true. I so agree. I so agree. Lovely.
Because the warmth will prevail.
Yes, yes, yes. Right. Okay. So, ma'am, any future plans, any goals, anything that you're looking forward to in the coming times?
I would continue where my passion takes me to. Chamber, I'm here now, I'm trying to do my work here to the best of my abilities, but I see myself working in an educational institution or a philanthropic organization in the near future. Business setting, or rather trade association and chambers, is something that I accidentally came upon, and I'm happy with this journey, but I don't see this as a long-term career. I would be very passionate to go back to the education field or the philanthropic field, where I think my passion lies. Yeah.
I think you want to touch more future generations.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So, ma'am, if you have to give advice to your younger self, probably when you were a 20-year-old, or people who are 20-year-old right now, what would be your advice?
A lot of them, I've heard a lot of parents saying, "Oh, my child doesn't know what she or he wants to do, doesn't have a sense of direction." If you ask me, I probably had my sense of direction, or rather, even wanting to go into the administration field in 2008. Probably by then I was mid 30s, but that's nothing wrong in it, because everybody needs time. There's some people who decide to be a doctor when they are 10 years old and pursue that. There's some people who decide to be a graduate or to take up a degree course at the age of 50 and they do it. So my advice to the younger self would be to make more conscious decisions, not to be hasty, to be more mindful, to look at bigger things, to look at implications. When you are young, you tend to be more bold, taking rash decisions that affects you for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Very, very wise words. Very wise words. And hoping all of us will follow this wise advice.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's been so inspirational, so motivating to sit with you, and thank you for sparing your time for us.
Thank you,
so
Richa.
much.
Thank you.